Hello, friends, and welcome, America, to another episode of the Market Stretch, where we're going to practice the yoga of investments. We're going to take a look once again at the three major indexes that I like to look at, starting with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which started 141 years ago, moving forward in history about 1957 or 69 years ago. We'll take a look at the S&P 500 and how it's doing today, along with the NASDAQ 100, which was started in 1984. Today's story is let the chips fall where they may. As we know, usually our benevolent leader, Donald Trump, will tell us every week around Friday that the war in Hormuz is just about to wrap up, either with a memorandum of understanding, a ceasefire, or deals about ready to get signed. But this week, things changed. In fact, both sides are looking a little bit hostile to each other. Iran is going at it. This last week, we did have about 12 injured service members from a strike from Iran on the Saudi Arabian base. So that's kind of a little bit devastating. Too bad we had that. It's always a shame to see people get hurt. Brings our wounded toll up to about 300 service members during this conflict. Iran fired 6 ballistic missiles and 29 drones at the Saudi Arabia's Prince Sultan Air Base, an attack on Friday that injured actually at least 15 troops. Okay, according to 2 people briefed in the matter, officials initially reported at least 10 troops were injured, including 2 who were seriously wounded. All right, getting back to other matters. At the home front, we've had a serious outbreak of salmonella. A big FDA recall for the chip brand Zapp's and Dirty brand potato chips. I'm not too familiar with these, but if you're familiar with it, feel free to leave a comment. Apparently, it goes back to maize milk powder, salmonella. The saga continues. There's a red alert, the highest alert ever, that number 1 type of alert, that these could cause serious health consequences, including death. So don't mess around with those Dirty brand potato chips or Zaps. If you know anyone that has them or you come across them, it sounds like a good candidate to throw in the trash this week. All right, what's news with the news, with stock market news? We're talking about chips. I wanted to talk about some technology. Apple and Nvidia, a couple of our favorite ones that we've always been watching. Apple had a price raise in their products of about 20% not too long ago this month, and it took quite an earnings dip there for a while, about 6% down, as a MacBook entered into the market, going from the MacBook Neo went from an entry level of $599 to $699, almost a 20% increase. Mac Airbook went from $1099 to $1299. Book Pro IT from $1699 to $1999. iPads increased across the board. Everything increased. Apple took a little bit of a dip. How did that affect the stock? Well, on Friday, it closed down almost 5% in the 5-day. In the 1 month, it was down overall 8.71%, but in the 1 year, actually doing about 41.13%. The 1 year's been good, but the 6 months and shorter, Apple hasn't been quite the stock that it used to be, at least not towards the end of this year. Nvidia, also in the news, one of our favorite growth stocks, in the last 1 day, down about 1.64%. 1 month, down almost 10%, down 9.44%. In the 1 year, up 22%. So Nvidia went from an amazing growth to the last year. It seems like it's slowed down. It's more or less keeping up with the indexes, as we'll see going forward. But right now, let's go ahead and take some time to appreciate a little bit of insight and talent and a little song and dance into the index. We're going to listen to Let the Chips Fall Where They May. I hope you enjoy this little ode to America, health, technology, all that. Let's roll.
I've got some news for you. Whoever wanted to have some chips, I'm talking microchips. Nvidia's been flat the last 6 months. months, but SanDisk is up an incredible 4,800%. And you wondering why you never heard nothing, but microns make them move in the past 6 months. The stock is up about 300%. Don't tell you you're wrong, but I'm gonna have to tell you I'm right when I'm just saying these shits just might kill you. Kill you. When the chips are all in and they roll the dice, lay down your cards and you'll find out what the night has in store for you. It's not just your money you're playing with. Like RFK says, you gotta stay away from processed foods in order to make America healthy again. I heard it in the news today, coming from the FDA. The salmonella in our food supply. Potato chips are poison, so hope you can avoid the dirty brand Zap brand chips. The big cheesy and value in the dirty brands too. Thanks for giving me a minute to say a big hello to you. Stay invested, stay safe, healthy to you. God bless America, and God bless you.
All right. Well, if that wasn't enough entertainment for you, let's get back to monitoring the indexes. I remember I'm a long-term investor. Most of my audience probably is also. So we're just going to check in. We don't want to forget about the Dow, not necessarily watching it every day, but, maybe checking in about once a week to see how things are doing. In the 5-day, the Dow is overall up 0.62%. In the 6-month, up about 7%. So if you like to watch things and see about 8% growth, which many people do, you can see that we've experienced almost 1 year's worth of growth in just 6 months. And in the 1 year, the Dow was up 18.39%. The S&P 500 in the 5-day down almost 2%, 1.95%. In the 6-month, up a little bit less than the Dow, 6.49%. And in the 1 year, exceeding the Dow at 19.13%. Amazing. So in that 1 year would have had about 2.5 years worth of growth if you're tagging your growth at 8%. Going into the NASDAQ 100 started out in 1984, the largest 100 stocks in the NASDAQ that are not finance-based, which gives it more of a little bit of a tech flavor, if you will, a chip flavor, silicon chips. That we'll see how this one went in the 5-day. Down 4.62%. In the 6-month, up an amazing 14.07%, almost 2 years worth of growth in just 6 months. And in the 1 year, would you believe it, up an amazing 29.22%. So that's about 3.5 years worth of growth, a little bit more than 3.5 years worth of growth at 8%. Bear with me now. I want to talk about a couple of stocks. I don't know if you've been keeping your eye on them, but it came to my attention that one of the discs that I like to use, one of the products I've been using for a long time, is called SanDisk. SanDisk, as you probably remember from the song, over the 5-day down 9.02%. Over the 6-month, would you believe it, almost 800% at 755.97% in the 6-month. And over the 1 year, an amazing 4,334%. Oh my gosh. So if you think about it, if you invested $25,000 in SanDisk just 1 year ago, you would have been at $1,075,000. What an amazing story. So if you've been participating in SanDisk, congratulations to you. Is it still a good stock to go into? Might be one for you to check out and do your research on. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the other stock I wanted to bring your attention to, one that's called Micron. Micron in the 6-month, up an amazing 284.66%, almost 300% up. Incredible. And in the 1 year, would you believe it, up over 807%, actually about 808%. Micron technology is up. Imagine if you had $25,000 invested in this 1 year ago and you bought and hold, you would be at about $200,000 today. So some of the interesting stocks to watch and some of the interesting news to be mindful of. God bless America. God bless you. And I hope that you and yours are looking forward to a wonderful 4th of July holiday weekend up and coming next week, about a week from today. See you in the next one. Have a wonderful, happy, and healthy week. Take care. Looking forward to catching you guys next time. God bless.
Follow, message us, or scan the QR code on the screen to learn more.